I'm sure there isn't one person out there who hasn't had to give up on a certain dream at one point or another. For me, I wanted to be a geologist, but I ended up here, and not so bad, because just because one thing ends doesn't mean another can't begin. This idea is explored in a new book called Say Yes by artist and Western Washington native Scott Erickson.
I think what Say Yes is trying to get to is, what do you uniquely need to say yes to, which is many different things. One is like kind of your like deepest desire, also the life you find yourself in, and the potential lying before you. I'm definitely a big advocate of saying no, because when you say no, you're saying yes to something else. I guess it's really about, what are we saying yes to, and spending time discerning that. Because the moment you say yes to one thing, especially what you really, really want to do or being asked to do, all kinds of other things are going to come your way, seemingly good things to try to distract you. And so it's really a practice of getting in touch with, like, what's this deepest thing in me that keeps calling my name, keeps bugging me, it won't let me go. Yeah. So that's what Say Yes is about. Yeah.
I love it. I mean, my first reaction is like, it's scary, right? That's scary to like go after those dreams. And why do you think it's hard for people to change? And then why do some of us give up on our dreams when we've had them so passionately held in our hearts?
I mean, these are the big questions, right? Yeah. I think what I found really looking at this and going through my own experience of it, let's talk about a dream and a desire. Okay. I would say what a dream is a dream is a version of your life, a version of yourself that doesn't have any vulnerabilities, doesn't have any weaknesses or limitations. When you've imagined a dream scenario, a dream version of yourself, you never imagined you in that moment having limitations and weaknesses. And vulnerabilities isn't necessarily our weaknesses and limitations as much as it's our relationship to those. How do we feel about having those? I would say a desire is this kind of deep internal path that you come across every now and then, like in moments where you get quiet, moments where your life kind of slows down. I don't know, maybe like a global pandemic that forced you to slow down, and you go, what is this deep desire in me? And why is it there? And there is a way that I want to walk in the world and stuff. And the way forward, why a dream dies is because a dream, that perfection version of yourself has to go away. But a desire is a path we walk with our vulnerabilities. Yeah. And in fact, those vulnerabilities become a unique way that we contribute to the world. This is like a creative rule. I'm a professional artist. And actually, it's really helpful as an artist to limit yourself, give yourself some limitations, because it helps you go deeper in your work.
I love that. And you say there are 3 things people need to think about if they're considering giving up on themselves, because I know that sounds like a big thing, but I think all of us has had that moment where like, it's just time to let that go.
Yeah. I mean, when we say there's a spectrum of giving up on ourselves, which can be just like binge watching something every single night, or just going, I don't want to be here anymore. And those are tough conversations. I think that the things we have to, the 3 practices that I implement is, 1, I'm really addressing my narratives. What am I telling myself? What kind of things? And I like to say, I'm on my way. I'm in process. The second thing is, like, I can be a contribution. We live in a massive culture of comparison. Like, it's every day we're just inundated with comparison. And when we are overcome with that, we can pivot to being, I can be a contribution today. And the last thing is kind of like, we might need to let that dream die to get to the deeper desire that's coming to me. And so really going, and look, I know I'm an artist and I wear mostly black, I think about dying, but like implementing some kind of like, hey, it won't last forever. And if you knew you only had a little bit of time, what would you do the most? I think we could take the wisdom of that conversation and bring it to our lives with so many options, and kind of focus in on what's in us the most. What do we want to do the most with our lives?
I love that. On the mention of comparison, the one thing in my life that has been the most damaging and something I've really tried to stop doing is comparing myself to others. Do you think that we have a culture of comparison?
Oh, totally. More than any other human beings that have ever lived, we have a massive culture of comparison because of our technologies and our screens and our ability to kind of watch life unfold in other places. I mean, it's addicting and entertaining. But what happens is, and spending all that time looking through all that stuff, we start to ignore the invitation to be a contribution ourselves. You know, all the things that you see people accomplishing, things like races or songs or art or businesses, those were little day after day of being a contribution. It doesn't just all happen at once. And so really focusing in and just going, how can I be a contribution today? Where is it that I want to contribute? What is the small thing I can start building over time?
I am focusing in on what he had to say, right? So helpful.